have a look at this beautiful place. Welcome to Pauline's place. It's not mine, but I happen to be here. And I think our home, in a sense, can be wherever we are. Just depends on what we're carrying with us inside and how we feel about who we are in the world. I'm one of the very few privileged people who lives in peace, not worried about where my next meal comes from. I love this park. It's called Cornwall Park. I spoke to you about it earlier. And right now there's still restrictions in New Zealand about COVID, but we are so fortunate. So few people are sick. So I wanted to talk to you about prayer. Do you pray? What is your prayer regarding COVID? I think this is a good place for me to pray. And I have a chance to think, and I can share my thoughts with you. Actually, prayer is your very best thinking, your purest form of thinking. And what could that be? I have with me, because I thought it might help me, a prayer for Aotearoa. It was in the paper. I think it was in the paper not so long ago, New Zealand Herald actually. And a number of churches put in this prayer. Sorry about the rattle. And it's a prayer that 2021 would be a year of blessing. And it's about being full of love, and that every individual will find hope and peace. It's a general prayer. It's a good prayer, but it's not some one person's best thinking. And finally, the purest prayer is one you can hardly utter aloud, because it's so deep within you. And it might be things you can't ever share with anyone else, your deepest need. But some prayers you can share. We all have a prayer about COVID. We want it to go away. But prayer is not wishing. Prayer is seeking the strength to use all the resources of humanity to make something happen. And miracles come. They sometimes come with the divine energy because so much love and commitment has already enabled some miracle to happen. So God's not a magician, and we're not praying to a person. We sometimes call God a he. Well, I think God's bigger than any of that, but to call someone a gender is okay. What about Jesus, the one we worship, the one I worship? He prayed a lot. We know that. The scriptures tell us he went often away to pray, but we actually don't know what he prayed for or about, except in a couple of cases we have one very long prayer which was about unity, that we might be one, that somehow we might all belong to each other as we belong to God. And the other prayer was for forgiveness. And that's all part of a journey where he prayed, take the cup of suffering from me. And when that cup of suffering couldn't be taken, he prayed for forgiveness. Well, how's that for the purest of thinking? It was for you, that prayer, and for me, and for all who would come after him. I think if we could just together ask God to take this cup of suffering from us. And when it comes in full measure and we don't understand why, we say, forgive me, Lord, for all of the things we have done wrong. And forgive our world for hurting creation. I don't know, it's a starting point. All I know is that when the heart begins to heal, miracles begin to happen. And sometimes they're just inside us. I'm glad for this prayer, but I have my own prayers, and you must have your purest thinking. Let your heart speak. Let it heal you, and let it heal your neighbour. Thank you. Enjoy wherever you are for a moment.